Yeah, well, I'm very surprised to hear about Russia, frankly. I've not had the opportunity to go there, of course, but it isn't in Russia, just to add one more note to that, would you say that in Russia that's very elite, not necessarily the folks are doing the shooting?
It's very difficult because when you go to Russia, my perception of it at the moment is that 99% of the wealth of Russia is owned by 1% of Russia. Right. I think once the balance there starts to equate, and the middle classes, which are now definitely are earning more money, you know, that's going to give a massive population explosion to people with money and people, you know, wanting to do sports that are exciting, and shooting is one of those. There are some very interesting gun controls over there, which we have to go through, and some fairly interesting visa regulations that we have to go through to actually get in there, but it's definitely a growth country.
Okay, well, I'm glad to hear that, quite frankly. Maybe I will have the opportunity of going. Now, I know I've kept you a long time. I had one more question that someone asked me to ask you, and that was, Are you superstitious, George?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You want to tell us about it?
Only in certain things, but you know, I am superstitious in doing certain things.
Okay, so you wear a special pair of socks when you go into a competition, or you eat a special breakfast, or something like that?
No, yeah, I don't normally eat when I shoot. But look, you know, I'll keep it private. But there's certain things that I do before big competitions that I like to do the same. You know, my build up and in my preparation, I do the same thing every time. Okay. I don't think that's a thing that's not in, you know, public domain. I think people realise that, and you know, certainly wearing certain items of clothing, you know, on certain days of a 4-day shoot or a 2-day shoot, you know, it's look, there's absolutely there's no background to it at all. It's just something that I've got into and I followed, and I think it helps take my mind off the pressure of big competition, and it helps me just focus on the job in hand.
Okay, all right. I got one more question for you, and they want to know, what do you do?
As many questions as you want.
What do you do to relax?
What do I do to relax? I've got several things that I do to relax. I play a bit of golf, although I don't get the opportunity to play as much golf as I would like. I play cricket, which is a very traditional English game, and I'm sure that 99.9% of you over the pond would have never even heard of it, and I'm certainly not going to try and talk to you about the laws of it, because it's very, very complex, but it involves a lot of time spent doing relatively little and then a lot of drinking afterwards, which is a perfect game for me. And I fish. So I've got three passions that I do apart from shooting. But then, you know, although I shoot, you know, competitively through the summer and starting in the spring and going through to the autumn, we also run 4 game shoots in the UK, 4 driven game shoots. That's and right. Whilst we're running the 4 driven game shoots, you know, we're doing, Kate and I do probably 100 days driven game shooting, the organisation of that, and you know, people come across from America, and we got Russians come to us and that sort of thing, and they come and hunt with us, and you know, that sort of side of it, whilst it's involved in shooting and there's a lot of pressure in the organisation, it's still great to be out, you know, not having to hit every single target I shoot at all the time.
Okay, you answered more questions than and you answered me with things I was unexpected. I didn't hear you. I'm surprised. So I think a few of us knew that you played golf. I don't think any of us knew that you played cricket, and you're absolutely right. It would take an entire show to explain the rules there. But so we're going to catch you on the cricket field and run a little video.
Absolutely no problem.
Hey, George, thanks for coming on. Now, if people want to hear more about, they can go to georgedigweed.com, correct?
Yeah, that's correct. We've got a new website up. We've got we're on Facebook. We're online. There's some other interviews there from TV shows that I've done over here recently, and it's just generally trying to promote shooting in a positive sense in the media. I'll be delighted to come on and do another interview with you anytime you want. You know, perhaps later in the season when we see how things are panning out. But whenever you want, just contact me and we can do anything you want. And just it's trying to portray an image in the media that promotes shooting in a positive light.
Oh, well, I appreciate that, George, because I know a lot of people that knew that you were coming on the show. I must have, I can see 20 emails right here, and they all have questions. You and I'd be talking for another 3 hours, and I know it's getting late there, and I do have to keep the show moving a little bit. So I appreciate it. Thank you very much for coming on. Thank Kate, because I know that she was very helpful, I hope to have you on again soon. Maybe after this next coming shoot, we can get together and we can analyze a shoot together.
No problem at all. Be delighted to.
Oh, thank you very much, George. Good luck.
My pleasure. Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.